I was in London. I had never been there. I didn't know anyone. All I had was a piece of paper with someone's name on it. Sonak. Now that I think back on it, that was actually kind of a foolish thing to do. Now, keep in mind, at this point, I didn't really know what was going on. I had had a dream and woken up with strange powers, and someone had come to visit me offering all kinds of wild promises. And somehow that was enough to get me on a plane and fly around the world. I asked around a few people about who Sarnak might be. No one really knew who he was. I didn't expect that they would. So I wandered around the city for a while. I had a name and a symbol, not much to go on. Soho, Southwark, even Hyde Park. I was just about to give up and go home. But then I saw something. A group of people. They were surrounding this man standing on a platform, and he seemed to be giving some kind of speech. I couldn't really make out most of what he said from a distance, but it didn't really sound like anything important. Still, without anything else to do, I wandered over.
Too late to start recycling, to go to raves to save the gorillas, to catch out those Anansi sheds. There's a storm coming. Mundo storm. Paint your glass houses shut. You don't have to take his word for it. This is a warning from the sun. It says it's old and tired and scared of death. It says you've lived as young gods for too long. Spoiled children who only need to wish for something and it'll come true. Well, those days are gone now and won't be here again. Sorry! I'll show you how it all goes down through the medium of unreliable narration. A vision of the future. This could be your lucky day. Tomorrow and all the ones after, not so much. It's a hot, wet day. You ever notice how the apocalypse always comes on a wet day? There's the smell of warm air and stale piss. The atmosphere is electric. I mean, actually electric, sparking off the tracks, lifting and snapping your hair. A voice over the speakers that you don't hear. You itch. The black signal sounds. Lights out.
What happened to me next, I still can't quite explain.
It's all shut down. Show, everything. From the park to Arachi Tower.
SDF quarantine. Good news for Tokyo, bad news for us.
I thought the dragons thrived on chaos.
Someone once told me the Illuminati had all the answers.
They're saying a bomb. It's never just a bomb.
Something worse. Something that brought the filth with it.
So we fight. That's what us Templars do.
I enjoy a good fight, it's just these trousers are bloody velvet.
Sarah! Thank Gaia!
When I woke, I was me, but I was also someone else. I could still move, I could still make decisions, but they were also her decisions. I don't know, I can't explain it better than that. We were different people, but I was still the same person. Her name was Sarah, and she had survived some kind of attack on Tokyo. I had heard about it on the news sometime before, and at that point I didn't really think much of it beyond some kind of terror attack. Turned out it was a lot more.
If Zuberi was here, he'd tell us this is the worst time to argue.
Well, he's not. He's down there somewhere. Sarah, get your gun.
I don't think this was another kind of dream, like like I'd experienced right before I woke up with my power, but I was reliving something that had happened a few weeks before. I won't go into extreme detail about what I saw there. You've seen the reports, I'm sure.
Shooting!
How many have they got in there?
It's gone viral so fast. If this gets out, it's Tokyo.
It doesn't. We'll stop it here, whatever it takes.
Still, coming face to face with the filth changed who I was.
Abandon all hope, lead you into here.
Thanks for the encouragement, Alex.
Let's do this. Take it like all the other occult disasters, right?
We really have to stop meeting like this.
It was black like ink.
Don't let it get on you. Don't even breathe in.
It's reacting to us. It knows we're coming.
This stuff cancer. It's a cancer. Cancer doesn't know you're cold. It just is.
Oily like tar.
New plan. Fight chaos with chaos. Keep the bastards at a distance, then take them out.
That's your plan?
Well, it's a plan.
You've got points, Sarah. Make every shot count.
It covered everything. Walls, ceilings, floors, people.
We're gonna need to use some heavier powers. Don't hold back, right?
I was pacing myself.
Listen, Sarah. You have to find Zuberi. We'll hold them here. Make a stand.
Anyone it touched became feral, crazed. The filth began to grow out of their skin, tendrils of it reaching out, trying to grasp things.
Cavalry has arrived. Even where the filth corrupts, Gaia's power endures. Take it into yourself. Breathe it out. Will this broken body mended? Over here. Good. But even Gaia will be tested by what is to come.
Making a stand? Wasn't working out.
Yeah, about that. This ain't looking much better, to be honest. Now is not the time for argument.
Told you you would say that.
We must reach the next platform. Well done.
We fought off dozens of these things, maybe hundreds.
The gate's opening! I think that's bad news. Yep, bad news. They're not stopping!
And they will not stop. This is all to hold us back. Top marks for effort. Someone has to push through. This confusion may be all the time we have.
Someone? Go! Go! Look out! It's all coming down!
Eventually, Sarah and I were cut off from the rest of them. Then we saw something actually familiar. It was a scene from my dream where I woke up with my powers. And that was the last thing that I remembered before waking up back in London. At this point now, I was convinced that something greater was going on behind the scenes. It was divine intervention or just dumb luck that someone found me who knew exactly where I needed to go.
You look like you've just seen the end of the cosmos, mate. I know the feeling. We're on the edge of it, and it's time to play your part, scene. Me and you, we're blood now, yeah? Templars for the win and that. Never mind. Looks like you've got some training to do before you're ready for your first kill. You want to do what your letter says. Go speak with Sonak at the Templar's gaff. It's not far, you can't miss it. Honest, it's unmissable.
She even came out directly and said she was a Templar. She provided me with directions to the Templar stronghold and to Sonak. I quickly found the Templar building and was ushered directly inside. It seemed like they had been waiting for me.
Come in. Come in. I'm very pleased you can follow directions on the back of a card. It is the basis for us getting along famously. Of course, with an establishment like this, we're practically in the yellow pages under Crusaders. Richard Sonak. So, you heeded our call to arms. You have questions, I can furnish you with answers. Some answers. To begin with, you haven't strayed into some atrocious Dan Brown airport paperback. We are not the Knights Templar. That particular appellation went out in the 1300s along with page boy haircuts and burnings at the stake. No, we run a 21st century, well, let's say a forward-facing organization, but one with its strength in ancient bonds of tradition, in loyalty, in blood, and, to be perfectly frank, in a sizable private army. Our firm guidance is needed to save the world from itself. We have kept the matters of squabbling secret societies and loathsome dimensions discreet, until the shadows began to peel back across the globe, until these darkest of days came upon us. Now the evidence is on television, for pity's sake. We are at war. Might will make right, and it will fall upon us to judge the correct application of might. It falls upon you as a soldier of the Templars. Show me that you have the will, and we can teach you the way. Your remarkable powers can be honed and controlled, at least to less disastrous effect on property values. There is a private training area which we have reinforced for just that purpose. Come back and see me after.
Sonic's always been a bit dramatic. It wasn't really on television. No one really knew what was going on at that point. But there were whispers. For a time, Sonic had me hone my skills a little further. I met with someone, a quartermaster there. I forget his name now. He explained to me that anima was the thing within me that had awakened my power. As a Templar, I was supposed to choose the application for that power. The quartermaster explained that I could quite literally throw fire and ice. At the time, I certainly couldn't. It wasn't until later that those powers developed. But I practiced with a large variety of things. In the training room, they had these demons that were chained to the walls and to stakes. They couldn't see, they couldn't hear. I was told they couldn't feel. But they were there, and we were to practice on them. Really, I had no use for things like elemental focuses or blood magic, at least not yet. But I knew the power of a trusty hammer. I knew the strength and the stopping power of an assault rifle. So I practiced with those. Once he thought I had done enough, the quartermaster sent me back to Sonic.
The time has come to discuss your upcoming excursion to the colonies. I'm afraid it's business, not pleasure. Recently, a small island community on the New England coast dropped off the map. You can disregard the tiresome government cover-ups. There are dark forces at play. Solomon Island is a rock with infamy. In the past, it was trafficked by the Illuminati before they joined the rush to New York. You should be aware that we have history with the Illuminati, acrimonious history. Of course, under the flag of truce, we have spat and made up, and now we are the closest of enemies. All smiles above the table and drawn knives beneath it. Illuminati are reckless and cannot be relied upon to clean up their own messes. We must find the root of whatever doom has come to Solomon Island. But let me stress that this is not a rescue operation. Should there be survivors, you cannot announce that you've been chosen to deliver anyone from evil. Joan of Arc did, and look where that got her. Our goal is the salvation of all mankind, not on a case-by-case basis. I understand that may stick in your throat, but, well, halos are fading all over town now that there is so much more at stake. Leave as soon as you can. Your travel arrangements have already been made at the Eldwick Underground. I'll be in touch.
And just like that, I became a Templar. Given what I had seen in my dreams, my old life held little value now. How could I unlearn what I had learned? Would I even want to? The answer was no. So I made my way to Solomon Island. But first, I had to go through Agartha.